everyone, I'm back and I am doing my 100 subscriber Q&A today. So thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers. I can't believe I've already reached this goal. I haven't even been on BookTube for 6 months, and so this is really exciting. So thank you guys so much. And to commemorate this, I wanted to do a little Q&A so you guys can get to know me a little bit better. Let's just get into it. So I went on Twitter and Instagram and asked you guys to ask me some questions. The first question from Twitter is from Rooney, and she asks, tips to start a BookTube channel. So my biggest tip is to just be yourself. Everybody is here to watch you because of your personality and the things you like and the genres you enjoy reading and your opinions on books. Just be your overall self. Don't try to be anything you're not. Other smaller tips are to think about your background and your aesthetic. People like looking at backgrounds that are enjoyable to look at. Beautiful backgrounds. Lighting is a really big thing. I have trouble with lighting too. I'm debating whether or not I want to buy a ring light or something, but like I don't want to spend money on it because I'm cheap. Also, just being fun and being creative and using your editing softwares and your backgrounds and your books creatively, and just reaching out to other booktubers and other bookish social media on different platforms like that. Just being part of the community and being yourself, being creative. Those are the best things that you can do to start your own BookTube channel. She also asked favorite author and favorite quote. So I think my favorite author is John Green. I don't really have like a favorite author, but John Green has written the most books that I've read that I've liked, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I really like Lori Halse Anderson. She wrote my favorite book, but I've only read like 3 of her books. So like, I don't know if I like the other books, so I don't know if she's my favorite author. So I don't know. I really like John Green. I also really like Sarah Dessen. Like, I buy her books like instantly when I see them. Again, I like Lori Halse Anderson stuff from what I've read. I really, really like Rochelle Mead, who is the author of the Vampire Academy series. Her writing is like on point, and her character's amazing. And finally, she asked what my favorite quote is. I don't know if this would be considered my favorite quote, but it's the quote that pops in my head a lot, like just randomly when I'm in class and I like doodle it on my notebook and whatever, is from Looking for Alaska. It's Miles saying, I go to seek a great perhaps. Divya asks, what's my favorite book of all time? And if you haven't been on here for a while, my favorite book is Winter Girls by Lori Halse Anderson. This book is about eating disorders, and again, if you haven't been on here for a while, you wouldn't know that I kind of like eating disorders. They're like my guilty pleasure read. I don't know, I just bought like 3 more books about eating disorders. So, but this one is my favorite. The writing style is amazing. It's very lyrical and almost like magical realism, but it's not magical realism. I don't know how to explain it, but it's amazing, and I absolutely love this book. So yeah, this is my favorite. Also, this is the UK edition of this book, and I also have the US edition at home, but I bought this one because it is super cute. Like, look at that spine. It's gorgeous. And I think it looks really good on this shelf with all these like beautiful colors. That's like my favorite shelf because it looks amazing. Divya also asked, who's my favorite bad character? You can read it. What first pops into my head is Rose from Vampire Academy. She is a fighter. She's stubborn, angsty. She's very witty. Oh my goodness, she is amazing. She's a great, great fighter and just a great main character. I think Rose Hathaway is probably my favorite main character, like, of all time. She's just so amazing and smug, and she can just really kick some people in the face. She also asked one book that I would die for. I mean, I already said it, but Winter Girls, hello, best book of all time. Like, I would literally do anything to keep that book alive. Like, if there was a fire, I would grab this book. And she also asked a world that I want to live in. Honestly, I don't know, because like all of those like fantasy worlds are like bad. Like, they're dystopian, so there's bad things. I mean, I think everybody's answer is probably Harry Potter, because like that's an amazing place to be in. Otherwise, probably the Vampire Academy world, because I love Vampire Academy. And like, if I was best friends with Rose, my life would be made. That would be so awesome. And finally, she asked, did you ever toss your coin to Witcher? And I've never seen Witcher. I don't know if this is a reference to Witcher, but I've never seen it. So I don't really know anything about it, so I hope that answers your question. Connor asked, what's your favorite and least favorite parts of making a video? So my favorite part is probably uploading. Like, it's a lot of work making a video, so yeah, my least favorite is editing. Like, takes me so many hours to edit. But like having the video uploaded, making the thumbnail, that's always really fun. But having the video uploaded and just having it there for people to watch and view, that like is really fulfilling to me. Like I really like the idea of people, like me connecting with other people through my videos. And so like that's always fun. Plus it's like all of my hard work and dedication in one little like present on YouTube, and like it's really nice to just see the end product, honestly. I love when like going back and watching my old videos on my channel and like being like, I remember when I filmed that and I remember the trouble I had with editing that. And so that's just a really nice feeling to be done with it and like have it there in a amazingly put together. That's really fun. Again, my least favorite is editing because it takes me so long and I'm really picky about it, and my editing software is kind of trash. Ayana, I don't know if I said that right. She asked favorite fantasy series, and my favorite fantasy series is Vampire Academy. I've already said it so many times, but I love that series, and I just wish that I could be constantly rereading that series. I listened to like a 14-hour audiobook for one of the books in like one day. Like I could just sit there and just like binge it, like listen to it all day long, not care about anything else, just reading the books, because it's just they're just such great stories and I just love them. Opalescent asked, if you could only eat one specific food for a week, which meal or food would you choose? I would choose hummus. Like, if you don't know what hummus is, it's like chickpeas and like mashed up and there's like spices in there. It is the best food I've ever had in my life. I can literally put it on almost anything. I eat it on wheat thins and Triscuits, on my Mexican food, and I put it like on salads, and I could eat it on bread. Like, I could eat it literally all the time. I have to buy so much hummus. Like, I buy a container probably every week. It is my favorite food like ever. I'm addicted to it. I just can't stop eating it. She also asked, what is the book that got you into reading? And I've always been a reader ever since I learned how to read in first grade. So I guess the first books that I actually really enjoyed was the Magic Treehouse series. I loved those books as a kid. So that's probably what got me into reading, but I've always just enjoyed it, so I don't know for sure. And she finally asked, dogs or cats? And I am a dog person. I do have cats and I love cats, but my dog PJ, here's a picture. She is the sweetest dog in the whole world and I love her. She's my best friend. And so yeah, I'm definitely a dog person. Books with Krista asked, favorite book in 2020 so far? I think my favorite book so far is Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. I read it on audiobook a couple weeks ago and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It was such a cute romance, and I didn't even know that I would be into adult romance, so the fact that I really enjoyed it, 10 out of 10. If you don't know, it's by Christina Lauren, and it's about Josh and Hazel, and they have known each other for a long time, and eventually they just start dating, and it's just really cute. It's an adult romance, what can I say? It's just really cute, and if you want a cute little, like, romance story, then you should read Josh and Hazel. She also asked, where is my favorite place to read? I think in the car. Like, if somebody else is driving, I can read in the car, or like on the bus. Like, I used to read on the school bus all the time. Like, I just get lost in it, mostly because there's nothing else to do, but like, it's just really soothing. Like, the way the car feels is really soothing, and I can just like whoop through my book, and I can get done with it so fast. I feel like I'm just babbling now, but I can just read so easily. She also asked, what's your favorite video that you filmed on your channel? I have to say probably last week's video, which was Who Knows Me Better Bookish Edition, between my boyfriend Will and then my good friend Lexi. And so, like, that was really fun to film, and it's really funny for us to watch back. We, like, all of the faces that they make while thinking of the answers to the questions was really funny, and just overall, like, general, like, energy in that video was just really fun and entertaining. So if you haven't watched it, click the card, because it was fun to film, it was fun to edit, it's fun to watch. So, and finally, Books with Krista asked, well, who are my favorite booktubers? And my favorite booktubers are Hannah from A Clockwork Reader. She's amazing. I love her voice. It's so soothing. And Hailey from Hailey and Bookland, and Zoe from Read by Zoe. Those are like the big booktubers that I watch, that everybody probably watches, and I really enjoy watching. I do watch other booktubers too. Alright, so Divya also asked me some more questions. So she asked romance tropes, and I don't know if that means like my favorite or least favorite, but I'll tell you that my least favorite romance trope is insta-love. I hate it with a passion. It's not realistic and I don't like it that much. But my favorite romance trope is probably, honestly, I don't know. A lot of people like fake dating, but I mean, I'm okay with it. I don't love it, but it's there. I don't know what my favorite romance trope would be. I don't really like tropes that much, so I guess fake dating is alright. She also asked what are my favorite books into movies, and my favorite movie adaptation is the Vampire Academy movie. And I know a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people think that it's dumb and they didn't like the adaptation from the book. I watched the movie first before I read the book, and actually I love the movie so much is what made me want to read the books. So maybe like because I watched the movie first, I love it so much, but I think they casted really good actors, even for Dimitri. My mom doesn't like the actor that they casted for Dimitri, but I really like him. And like Zoe Dutch as Rose, amazing. Like I cannot picture anybody else being Rose. And I think that the movie's actually funnier than the book. Like there's lots of really witty remarks in there. It does a pretty good job of representing the book. It does change some things, but I think it is a really decent movie, and I don't know why people don't like it. And like I really wish that they would make the rest of the books in the movies. Comment down below if you would like to see that too. Like I just really want all of the books to be movies so I can live out my love for Vampire Academy with other people who don't enjoy reading, because Vampire Academy is an amazing place to be. She also said to predict a 5-star book. Probably Ninth House. I think everybody is raving about that. I'm really bad at predicting 5-star books. Books that I think I will enjoy, I don't. And books that I don't think I will enjoy so much, I love. I guess Ninth House is the one that I'm going with. And finally, she asked, what are my bookish pet peeves? Insta-love. Hate that. I hate when people dog-ear the pages. Those are my two biggest ones. So my friend Lexi also responded to my tweet and asked me a couple questions. So she asked, favorite time of the day to read? Anytime I have free time. I used to read a lot before I went to bed. I kind of stopped doing that, but I really enjoyed doing that. So like I should try to like actually do that more often than I do now. But basically any time is a good time to read. When you're in line at the store, when you're walking around campus listening to an audiobook, when you should be doing your homework. My favorite time to read. She also asked favorite snack while reading. Wheat Thins with hummus. Best thing ever. Or like hot tea. Hot peach tea is really good when you're reading, especially when you're trying to be cozy. If you were to be in a book, which book would you choose? Again, probably Vampire Academy, because I love that universe. I mean, or Harry Potter. Harry Potter is also a great universe to live in. And finally, she asked favorite cover on any book. Oh, that's a difficult one because I really like a lot of book covers. I talked about this book already, but you know I really love the cover for Winter Girls. Like, look at that masterpiece. It is gorgeous. And I also really love the cover on the new edition of Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. I really like the idea of like trees with no leaves, leafless trees. Is that a thing? And like that, it's just really like kind of spooky, but like also kind of like edgy. I don't really know what I'm trying to say. I just love trees in general, like leafless trees. They're just really aesthetic. But also, I don't have the book here, but it's The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. I actually read this book because I really thought, like, I thought the cover was really cute. And like that's the reason I read it. And then I bought the trilogy after I read the first book because I was like, I should probably not buy the books just based on the cover and like read the book first and see if I like it. So I did read the first book and I liked it, and so I bought the whole trilogy, but I did all of that because I thought the cover was really cute. Alright, so moving over to Instagram questions. Lizzie Not Bennett asked, what have you learned since you've been on BookTube? And I've learned that there are a lot more booktubers than I thought there were. I thought it was a very small, like, community, but actually there is a lot of booktubers and book twitters and book Instagram and people to talk to on these bookish social media, and I really enjoy talking to people on these things. If you're out there and you don't want to have a booktube but you want to be part of the community, go to Bookstagram or Book Twitter and find those people and make some group chats and talk to people, because that's really fun, and that's my favorite part of being in this community. She also asked, what's your favorite thing to do when you're having a bad day? I think my favorite thing to do is listen to my audiobook, and play a game on my phone because that's what I always do, and it's a very good de-stressor because I'm reading and at the same time I'm just letting my mind take a break by playing just a dumb game on my phone. Like, that's just like the best way to just mellow myself out and remind myself that I don't need to be angry at everything because that's what happens when I have a bad day. Bookish Raider asked, what book would you recommend to your middle grade self? Honestly, I would recommend myself to read more fantasy books because I've fallen out with fantasy. I can only read the fantasy books that I enjoyed when I was a little bit younger than I am right now. Like, I struggle with getting into new fantasy stories, so I would tell myself to read more fantasy so then I would enjoy more fantasy for now. And I would have read more fantasy, if that makes sense. She also asked, what paranormal romance would you recommend besides the Wake trilogy? Paranormal romance, that's an interesting genre. The City of Ghosts series by Victoria Schwab are paranormal, and they're so good, and they're middle grade, so they're like super easy to get through. They're not necessarily romance though, so I don't know. Alright, so that is it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this more get to know me style of video. I know it's a little different than the videos I normally do, and I'm sorry if it felt a little bit more awkward than normal. I felt kind of weird answering questions about myself. I didn't think that would happen, but I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, please make sure you give this video a like, and also consider subscribing to my channel, and hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I post. I post new videos on Fridays at 5 p.m. Central Time. If you want to follow me on social media, all my links are in the description box down below, and I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!